What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I wish you nothing but wealth, health, happiness, and abundance. And if you don't know what to put in the comment section, you can go ahead and just put that. So I'm not going to make this too long because I want to get right into this topic. But before I get into that, I want you guys to click the link in my bio and go to my shops and look at my products. I have the text and audio program, the text and ebook, and I have a new product out right now, and it teaches you how to vet women. Now, I'm going to make a separate video about the whole vetting thing, but let's get right into this. And yes, you read the title right. So, I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos about guys talking about, overseas women, they're better, all of this and that. And at the time, I didn't believe it. I'm like, man, shut the fuck up. They all the same. They women, you know what I'm saying? That's how I was thinking at the time. Until I got on Tinder first. Now, as you guys know, I live overseas now, so I have first-hand experience with a lot of overseas women. But furthermore, I got on Tinder. And when I got on Tinder, I bought the Tinder app. And I already know how you guys probably like, oh man, I ain't buying a Tinder app, man. I ain't buying it to see no damn girls, man. Yeah, okay, man. Whatever you say. But I bought the Tinder app, and I was talking to girls from places like Ethiopia, the place that I'm at now. I was talking to girls from Asia, South America, just all over the globe. I just wanted to see how these women thought, how these women came across, and I wanted to get a real clear view of their personalities and see if with these traveling gurus and international dating coaches, I guess you want to call them, we're talking about. Now, as I started to talk to these women and vetting these women through Tinder on a regular basis, I did see an immense difference in the way how they came off to me versus talking to the average American woman. Now, the one thing that I've experienced on this app while talking to these women that I was delighted to see was that there weren't a lot of attention whores when I talked to women from other countries. And what I mean by that is, when I talk to a girl from America, she can talk to me all the time and not have no interest in meeting me or even seeing me, and she can text and call and do all that stuff and not want anything to do with me. These women, on the other hand, if I didn't tell them that I was coming to their country, or if I wasn't in their country, they didn't even want to really speak with me. And that was very interesting to me, because I'm like, that's crazy, because these women from America, they'd take free attention like a glass of water. You get what I'm saying? Like, they'd just take that. And so to see that these women did not even want my attention if I wasn't about to come to their country, or if I had no interest in even coming to their country, was just amazing to me. Now, besides that, for all you guys that don't know, I live in New York, and I don't live in like the city of New York, like, Bronx and, Manhattan and shit. I live more upstate. I live closer to the Canadian border. And when I used to go to Canada, or when I dated in Toronto, or even when I put my Tinder location in Toronto and I was talking to Canadian women, it was a difference. They were the same, but they were very different. And it's not that they were just so much better than American women. It was just that just dating in the place that I was dating in, which was a small town. Like, if you live in America and you live in a small town, you gonna have a fucked up dating life. I'm just gonna let you know that right now. Your dating life is gonna be pure trash, pure undesirable. So because of those experiences, when I went to Toronto, a more bigger city with a lot of options, a lot of different ethnicities, very diverse. And I was talking to these women because it was just so many of them, and they didn't have just the same thought process of Americans. Like, they kind of do it, they don't. I don't know how to explain it, but they didn't. It was more. I was able to date in that. I was able to date there. You know, I was able to have a good dating experience in Toronto, especially the fact that I was living near the border of Canada, and I was like only an hour or two away from Toronto. I think it was an hour, but anyway, I was an hour away from Toronto, so it got to the point where I just started dating Canadian women. Now, granted, because I lived in a small area and I was only dating like very young women, so I made a video on TikTok saying that you date women from 18 to 24. These are probably the worst, or not the worst, but the most difficult group of women to date, because, you know, they're all over the place. They just left their parents. You know, they want to explore their newfound freedom. They want to be able to do whatever they want. They're not going to take shit seriously. They're going to be, and then they're in their prime. So I was dating in that, plus a small town, and then plus COVID. So dating was top tier trash. So I think about to live in maybe a bigger city, like maybe if I moved into the city of New York or went somewhere like California, Florida, something like that, I probably would have had a better dating life. In addition, I want you guys to know that when you do go overseas and you're getting treated better, I want you to know that you are getting treated better because you are an American. Point blank, period. America has, that's one thing that America did. They marketed us the best. They marketed us on a whole new level, to the point where, like, anywhere you go, almost as an American, you're seen as Superman. You know, you look like you got money. They think you a celebrity, a ball player. You automatically assume you automatically stereotyped in a way, which can be a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. It's a good thing because you're going to get treated with, you will be treated with a lot of respect, or sometimes you might even be seen as a target because you're an American. And a lot of Americans, you know, they get away with a lot of things overseas. And that does depend on where you are. Don't just take what I just said for face value. Let me not also forget to include something. This is something that most of you guys need to know. If you are a simp here in America, it doesn't matter where you go, you're going to be a simp over there. Now, even though they're going to be treating you a little bit better than you are treated over here, you're not going to know how to identify if they're treating you better because they have ulterior motives, or if they're treating you better because they actually like you for who you are. So if you're thinking that you don't need to learn about women and all you need to do is just go overseas, you are going to be rudely fucking mistaken when you take your ass over there, bro. Because women are women anywhere. I just want y'all to know that. The nature of a woman ain't going nowhere. If you don't know female nature, you don't know female psychology or anything like that, and you just think that you about to blindly go over there and just get treated like a king, you got another thing coming. Especially if you go over there and you don't have the funds to be able to stay over there, so you have to get married or some shit and then bring the woman back. That's probably the only time you gonna find out that she ain't like your ass and she just used you to get a green card. So fellas, as much as you probably don't want to deal with American women or whatever, bro, you still need to do it. You still need to fucking do it, because you don't want to you don't want to run the risk of meeting a woman somewhere else and then she game your ass because you don't have any knowledge, and now she's over here in America because you brought her back and she got a green card and she leave your ass. So make sure you are vetting these women and you learn how to vet a woman. A lot of guys do not know how to vet women, and that's why I even came out with the whole audio program of teaching you guys how to vet women. It's in the link in my bio. You're going to learn a lot about the individual woman that you are talking to and what place and category that you need to put her in. It's only 3 categories that a woman needs to be in, which is a one-night stand, a friends with benefits, and maybe a girlfriend or a wife. Those are the three categories, and you gotta learn how to identify which woman goes into which category. So if you want to learn how to do that, which I've already gotten great reviews on it, just click the link in my bio and go check out the product. One of these qualities that these women have displayed towards me was true divine femininity. Whereas when I'm talking to them, they're not talking to me as if they're talking to another girl, or as if we're talking as we're both guys talking. You know, you ever talk to American women and they got like this masculine type of tone to their voice? They don't talk up, they don't have a high-pitched voice, they don't adjust the way how they speak to you. Like these women, when they talk to you, they talk like how a woman should, bro. You know what I'm saying? They talk with such humbleness and just such charm. It's almost just talking to them, you can almost just fall in love with them. You know what I'm saying? They're very well mannered. They talk to you like how you would see a woman talk in those old, 1950s, 1940 movies when women were more, housewives. That's kind of how, that's the best way that I can really explain it to you guys. When I'm talking to these women, I feel like I'm talking to a woman. I don't feel like I'm talking to a colleague or, somebody that's I'm in business with. These women, they really talk to you like they just businesses and just real strong, They don't call you bro, and they don't tell you to suck they don't say any type of masculine phrases that would never come out of one of their mouths. Now, the more modern ones, yeah, maybe, but for the most part, they have real nice, soft, feminine voices. And that's not just the women that I've dealt with here. I've dealt with a whole bunch of just overseas women, and they all just displayed this level of femininity that even if they displayed just a little level of femininity more than an American woman, it almost would be so much, because a lot of American women don't display a lot of feminine qualities, characteristics, or personality traits. So these women could possibly be trash, but because I've been dealt with a lot of American women, it makes these other women that probably ain't even that good seem that much more better. And this is not me trying to sit here and diss American women, because I've had a lot of nice, cool, feminine, submissive American women, but it's just that when I came overseas, it was more acceptable over here for a woman to be in her feminine than whereas in America, a woman that's in her feminine is almost frowned upon, and she's undesirable, and every other thing in the book. She's a pick-me or anything like that. So just seeing women be able to just dominate in their femininity here and just overseas, it's nice to see. Furthermore, the next big difference that I've seen from, dealing with American women to dealing with overseas women is overseas women are a bit more traditional. Like, when I see when I see a lot of girls come from another country, and then they go to America or Europe or any of one of these Western cultures, they go over there and then they try to fit in, and they forget their whole traditional background. Like, they literally go over there to lose their whole identity and their traditions. Like, they probably keep just like a tad bit of their traditions, but they'll lose it once they get over there, and then they get around a bunch of all of that feminism and all of that poisonous stuff. So when I come over here, they're 100%, well, not 100%, but they're in their traditions. They want to be housewives, they want to be taken care of, they want to cook, they want to clean. They actually like and desire to want to be a wife and mothers and bear children and stuff like that. Have a husband and not get divorces and stuff like that and be with just one man. They're not, when I'm over here, they're not trying to do anything other than that. That's literally what they want to do. I don't really meet a lot of girls that want to just, be all about they money and, have a business and stuff like that. Those are usually more the modern ones over here. Or, when I'm overseas, the more modern ones. But the more like laid back, traditional, conservative ones, they don't really care for all of that. They want to just be taken care of. They want to cook and clean and, bear kids. But that's to say, let's move on to the next one. And I want to say that there's no feminism over here. Now, I'm lying to say that there's no feminism over here because I met some feminists over here. I'm gonna get into that later. But it's not as big as it is in America. Like, they don't have feminine ideologies over here. Like, most women just don't want to be treated like shit over here. That, like, when they come overseas, they just don't want to be treated less of a man. They don't want to, kill all men, and they're not all into that American westernized feminism. They just want to be treated equal, and they don't want to be treated like shit. But it ain't you never hear girls say anything about any type of feminism over here, and if they do, you can rest assured that they by themselves. I've never met a feminist. Like, when I get on Tinder and I'm swiping and I see a girl on here that's in the country talking about she's a feminist and stuff like that, it's a reason she's on this app. You get what I'm saying? And the one thing that surprised me, that let me know that there's really just no feminism here, is when I say something that's very controversial, that, like, if I said in America, a girl would get turned off and, call me misogynistic and this and that. When I say it here, it's not really a big deal about it. Like, they will just disagree, like, oh, I just disagree, and then we'll move on. But like, it won't be an argument. She won't lose, respect for me because I said something, or not want to talk to me anymore because I said this or that. It's just, we just disagreed about it. We moved on, and we just don't. Nobody talks about it. Like, she knows who I am. I know who she is. Like, she respects that I have my own thought process on things, and they're not trying to shame me for thinking the way that I think, and I love that. That's one thing that I loved about here. Like, you're able to be a man and speak your mind and say whatever you want over here, as opposed to in America, you say some shit and all of a sudden you got 13 feminists trying to cancel you. It ain't like that over here. This is a third world. Like, people are too much into, like, getting their own shit together, that they don't have time to have gender wars and men hate women and all of that stupid shit that American and Western society feed off of. Now I did say something about me talking about feminism. Now, before you guys unsubscribe, I did date a feminist unknowingly. I didn't know she was a feminist until I started talking to her. So I was dating this one girl. She was a feminist, and when she told me she was a feminist, I'm like, oh, hell no. I was about to hang up on the phone and all of that shit. But I like to really get into the core of people, and I like to really dig deep and have really deep conversations, no matter if they're feminine or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm overseas, so I know feminism is not the same as the feminism in America. So, I started talking to her. And what I came to realize about why she's a feminist is because, the guys over here tend to view women as second-class citizens over here. So she became a feminism out of, just a reaction to what's going on in her country. Like, she was telling me about, like, guys here, when they have a housewife, they feel like they're better than the girl and all this other stuff. And then when I was talking to her, I came to the conclusion. I'm like, so you don't really have a problem with, like, being a housewife or, taking care of the kids. You got a problem with doing all that, and then the guy making you feel like less of a woman. And when I said that, she was just like, that's exactly how I feel. Like I want to be a woman, but here, like, these guys almost kind of shame her for being a woman and feel like they're superior, which some men do, because some men never had what we call power. So, they abuse the shit. which is why a lot of girls don't like to be in that submissive role, because they get abused. So once she understood that I understood that's where she was coming from, she damn near almost fell in love with me, you know, because like I said, I can understand. She's not like I said, she wasn't one of those true feminists, but yeah. And to answer all you guys' questions, yes, it is easier to date. It's easier to have casual hookups overseas. And like I've told you before, sometimes it's because you're American and sometimes it's not. Like out here where I'm at, the women really don't care if I'm American, though. Women that only care if I'm American are the ones who want to go to America. Like I always end up telling the girls, like, I live here, I'm not going back to America. Like I say that just to see how they will react. Like I'm not ever, like I tell them I'm not ever going back to America, just to see, like, if she stopped talking to me, then I know that, you know, she just wanted to use me because she thought that I was gonna be one of these simp motherfuckers and marry her and go back to America. But after usually after I tell them that, they don't really care. Like most of the girls don't really care to leave their country. It's only like a small percentage of people who want to leave their country, and it's usually the people who are not really doing good in their country, the more poor ones. But like, not everybody wants to come to America and just leave their family and go to a whole nother place where they don't have any family like that. And you know, it's absurd to even think that everybody wants to go over there. But that's a great way to like vet a woman to see if she just likes you because you're an American. Because most of the time, I don't even like telling them that I'm American. Like a lot of them have to ask if where I'm from, or if I'm Ethiopian, or if I'm not. Or sometimes people come up to me speaking the language, and because I barely speak it, I have to tell them, like, yo, I don't speak the language. They're like, man, you look like us. And I'm like, no, the hell I don't. Not to say that I don't, you know, not to say anything look wrong with them, but I'm like, nah, man, I look like an American. You know what I'm saying? I'm African American. You know, I don't think I look anything like them. You know, I got the same color as a lot of them, but phenotypes, if that's even what it is. But my facial structure and stuff, we don't really look like them like that. It's a lot of us that do, you know, look like them and come over here. We speak their language and blend in. Like if I start speaking the language, I can blend in well. But other than that, man, that's all I got for you guys today. Also, man, if you're having a problem with vetting these women, especially if you're still in America and you're dating and you're still trying to learn, then you need to get my Vetting Her to the Core audio program. It's a little bit more on the pricier side because I put a lot into it, but it's the value that the price that I gave it to you for, the value is higher. So you kind of getting a steal from it. And you're gonna learn some real hardcore, potent, futuristic. I can't even describe any more words, but some real game. So make sure y'all go cop that if you need that. It's in the link in my bio down below. Also, if you're having a problem with texting and you need texting advice and you're getting left on red and you have a problem with that, I have the audio program and I have the ebook. You should also get that down below by going to my shop. All right, you guys, man. I wish you guys nothing but wealth, health, happiness, and abundance, man. And you guys be safe. Deuces.